But yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
a really good
thoughts.
summary, I think, of thoughts of that was shared by plenty. I remember that, as you said, before those injuries, we were having these discussions about why Arsenal don't look as perhaps so free flowing as they did the
Yeah.
previous season, where they were putting 4, 5, 6 past teams on a relatively regular basis. I mean, if you
Mm,
look at the Premier League table, this season, obviously, we sit in the same position in terms of kind of where we're at, but we've scored 55 goals this
mm.
season in the league. Last season, we scored, I think it was 90,
Wow.
which was a record, whereas, we're, we're a long way off that with 35 goals off of that with 8 games remaining in the league. I can't see Arsenal scoring, that many between now and the end of the campaign. And obviously, yes, that's been affected by losing Saka for 4 months, losing Odegaard for 2 months, losing Kai Havertz for half the season, Jesus for half the season. Yes, that's affected that. But as you pointed out, there were areas where we could have addressed that point. We could have acted in January. We could have
Mm,
maybe done something in the summer. I have my arguments with the summer, but certainly not with January. January was a failure without a doubt in terms of not bringing in that attacking depth that we needed before Havertz even got injured. But certainly we already knew that there was an issue with Jesus. And of course, the big kind of story of post-January, if you like, is that there is work already going into the summer tops. And that's, with Andrea Berta being appointed as the new sporting director, we're hearing a lot of stories regarding transfers. There's real confidence that Martin Zubimendi will be an Arsenal player this summer. There's stories about Victor Gyökeres becoming more of a prominent attack kind of striker figure in terms of Arsenal's plans. Nico Williams, another player as well. I mean, if I was to say hypothetically, and I don't necessarily like doing this where you see like those tweets where people put 4 names, these numbers next to them, these 8 players leaving, and that's the summer. But if I was to hypothetically say in terms of incomings that Arsenal landed, Zubimendi, let's say Joan Garcia, the backup goalkeeper as well from Espanyol, Nico Williams, Gyökeres, and then I'll say an unnamed kind of attacking midfielder as well on top of that, because I feel that's an area that needs depth with Fabio Vieira being sold in the summer as well, and how much we've lacked kind of another attacking option there this season. How would you feel about that as the summer transfer window?
Yes, I'll be very, very happy with that, Tom, to be honest with you. I'll be more than happy with that because the positions that you've obviously named there, the striker position, we've been needing to replace or get a striker since Aubameyang left, really. And that, how long did he go? What, 2021, 2022? So that's a position that we really need to strengthen for a long, long time, especially with the left wing as well. Obviously, we've already really bought in Jesus and Trossard since Arteta's come in as those attacking options. So I feel like that position as a whole has been pretty much neglected. So for me, anything that's attacking, and for me as well, what would really excite me if we got those kind of deals over the line first, because then that's when you can relax and feel, you know what, we've got those deals over the line. The striker that everyone wants, every Arsenal fan can agree that we need a striker. Havertz obviously has done a decent job, but ultimately we all know that to get over the line, we want something a bit more, a player that can provide a bit different to what he can do. Obviously, he does great things off the ball in terms of link-up play and stuff like that, but I feel like we do need a goal scorer in the squad, someone that just hunts goals, needs goals, and someone that we can rely on to score in those crucial games. So for me, that as a first would be great. And then again, that left winger side. We've seen Martinelli, we've seen Trossard for a number of years now, and I think there's again a feeling within the supporters that we need an upgrade on that position too. Even if you do that, that means you could potentially, if you keep one of Martinelli, Trossard, you could move them to be Saka's cover if you want to do that, or you can push either Nwaneri as the Saka cover if you want to do that. So then you kind of fill in more obviously gaps and holes in the squad in terms of depth wise as well as bringing in the added quality into the obviously that attacking lineup. So for me, the striker and the left-sided forward is definitely a must. And like you said, if we can try and get a couple of midfielders, whether it's, like you said, a Zubimendi coming in to try and replace, because I do feel like Jorginho and probably Partey will be departing in the summer. So I think it is imperative to try and even replace the numbers-wise, because, Arteta has come out and said that we have got a really, really thin squad. And obviously the games are going to be pretty much the same next season, as well as having a World Cup on the end of it. So you've got to realize that we probably need to bolster our squad numbers-wise, just so we can have a bit more wiggle room to rotate certain players. Like, we're not playing Declan Rice every single game. We're not even playing someone like a Gabriel every single game, just to kind of ease up the load. So there's not so much pressure of them to perform at a high level, high intensity through the obviously duration of the season. So
what do you make of Berta as well? As like, just because there was a lot of names, in the fold of the sporting director. Thomas Rosicky was mentioned, Thiago